The crisp Elenoir air felt foreign, yet strangely familiar. Huh, a thought surfaced, hazy at first. I had forgotten. Forgotten what exactly? Perhaps the sheer unlikelihood of this moment. Standing beside an elven princess who felt inexplicably like a friend. I've been thinking about it all this time. How easily the barriers that seemed to crumble between us, despite everything. Yeah, we've become pretty close, haven't we? Tessia's voice, bright and clear, broke through his thoughts. She tilted her head, emerald eyes sparkling with unguarded warmth. So, is it okay if I call you Art? A small smile touched Arthur's lips. Art is fine, Tessia. I knew that a few simple words like a friend's would never be enough to earn true trust. Yet, looking at her trusting face, a part of him desperately wanted it to be enough. But the echoes of suspicion were never far. A chilling whisper seemed to slither through the regal halls, a phantom command from the distrustful elves, or perhaps from a darker place within himself. Kill the human. He flinched inwardly, remembering the chaos of the rescue, the fear in Tessia's eyes before recognition dawned. Stop. Let go of them. It's dangerous. His own voice desperate. During the struggle, he recalled the initial resistance, the terrified shouts. Let go of me at once, you filthy human. How dare you pretend to help me and then brainwash me? But that fear had faded. You're not dangerous, she had realized later. You saved me. Now, navigating the elven court felt like walking through a field of hidden thorns. Every gaze was sharp, every whisper a potential threat. He remembered Tessia, small but fierce, placing herself between him and the wary guards. Stop it. Let go of this human's hand. Are you okay, Art? Her loyalty was a small, warm shield against the chilling hostility. Everyone's being awful. Art, he's not a bad person. The memory of their arrival was still vivid. When the missing princess was found, a barbarian human was beside her. The news had spread like wildfire. The reunion with her family had been fraught with tension. He saw the towering figure approach, radiating authority. Naturally, grandfather. Tessia had cried out, relief warring with apprehension. I am Virion Eralith, the imposing elf announced, his gaze sharp as honed steel, though the formal introduction would come later from the king. He looked from Tessia to Arthur, suspicion etched deep into his features. Then came the king and queen. Oh, mother. Tessia. A blur of embraces, tears, and relieved cries. Mama. So those two are the king and queen of the Elenoir kingdom. Tessia had whispered to him amidst the reunion, but the moment the initial relief subsided, all eyes turned to Arthur. Why is a human here? What is he doing? The hostility was palpable. Soldiers restrained the human at once. King Alduin had commanded, his face grim, even though I stopped him as a barbarian. Virion's voice grudgingly acknowledging something. He rescued Tessia and brought her here, Tessia insisted, clinging to Arthur's arm. We can't just kill him without question. After all, he saved my life. We mustn't be rude. King Alduin surveyed Arthur, his expression unreadable. But no means no, he stated, a clear boundary drawn. Yet Tessia wouldn't yield. Art saved my life. We must properly host him in the castle, she declared. Then, brightening, no, let's bring the human to our castle. Art, I have lots of my favorite sweets prepared for you. She turned pleading eyes to her father. But is that okay with you, Papa? A sigh escaped the king. It can't be helped. Yay! Tessia beamed. The king's gaze settled on Arthur again. Boy, I'd like to hear your story later. But beneath the surface, Arthur felt a flicker of something else, a probing awareness from the elves, particularly the grandfather, Virion. What is this unknown power? A silent question seemed to hang in the air, directed at him. The journey through Elenoir City was breathtaking. This is the elven nation, Elenoir Kingdom. Tessia proudly pointed out landmarks. Amazing, just like I read in the books. Arthur murmured, taking in the gracefully twisting architecture woven seamlessly with nature. I never imagined I'd see these unique streets with my own eyes. Elves move with an elegance that seemed innate, their features sharp and beautiful, though many cast wary glances his way. He remembered Tessia's earlier comment about his vigilance. Still, that look you had when you stayed up all night, what was that about? He hadn't answered then. Either way, I'll never let my guard down again. Finally, within the palace, after Tessia's enthusiastic welcome. Welcome home, Princess Tessia. Everyone, I'm home. Right away, let's give my lifesaver the best hospitality we can. They gathered for the formal questioning. Tessia, sensing his unease, tried to reassure him. It's okay. You're not a bad person, so you must be embarrassed being treated this way. She buzzed with energy. What would you like to do first? A snack? A meal? Relax? Or shall we play first? Then let me tell you what happened so far. All right, Arthur said, opting for directness. Tell me everything. They sat in a comfortable receiving room. Tea and delicate sweets were served. The introductions were made formally. I am Alduin Eralith, king of the Elenoir kingdom and Tessia's father. My wife, Tessia's mother, is Queen Merial Eralith, and I am Virion Eralith, the stern grandfather added, his eyes never leaving Arthur. Ruler over all Elenoir. Arthur met their gazes steadily. My name is Arthur Leywin. I was born in a humble town in the Kingdom of Elenoir. Normally, someone of low birth wouldn't be permitted to stand before an elven king, but I am deeply honored by this opportunity. HM, despite your humble origins, you seem very well educated. Virion's unspoken thought seemed to echo in the room. Arthur knew he had to project competence. A grandiose self-introduction, but if I'm treated like a child, our discussion won't progress. So what happened? King Alduin prompted. Arthur explained, carefully editing his story. I explained, somewhat glossing over how my family and I were separated by a bandit attack. It wasn't a lie, but not the whole truth. When he mentioned encountering Tessia near where she'd been held captive, the atmosphere grew tense. Then, when I mentioned meeting the master's disciple, the mood changed. He described finding her, mentioning the captors. You said, slave trader. Are all barbarians like that? Queen Merial asked, a touch of disgust in her voice. Pardon my rudeness, your majesty, Arthur corrected gently, but slave trader is an occupation, not a race. Virion leaned forward, his eyes like chips of ice. What? So, you saw the slave traders abduct the master's disciple. How did you rescue her, child? Did you negotiate? Did you beg? Neither, Arthur stated calmly. Elder Virion, I may be a child, but I'm also a mage. The elder's eyes narrowed. Are you saying you used magic to wipe out the slave traders and rescue Tessia? That's right. A guard captain standing nearby bristled. So it was you who defeated them. How dare you trick Princess Tessia and sneak in here? His hand went to his sword. Stop, Alduin commanded sharply. But there won't be a third time, he warned the guard, then turned back to Arthur. Sheathe your sword. Art isn't lying, Tessia interjected fiercely. I was really captured by bad people. I heard them talking about selling me off. Her voice trembled slightly as she recalled their words. Shut her up. An elf princess will fetch a high price. Huh, it'll be worth a fortune. Let's go. Let's get out of this creepy forest quickly. King Alduin nodded slowly. I believe you. Thank you, Arthur said, relief washing over him. And now, I wish to ask the king something. Yes. As I said, I was attacked by bandits and lost my way here. My only wish now is to return to my family in Elenoir. Virion scoffed. You don't intend to demand they send you back to Elenoir as a reward for saving Tessia, do you? I'm afraid you must have felt how much elves hate humans, given your experience. Yet you now ask the favor of a human's gratitude. Arthur met his gaze. Because I'm your daughter's friend. If that's the case, I can't believe elves who despise humans would treat one the same as a barbarian. Well said, Virion conceded grudgingly. However, the wounds between humans and elves aren't easily healed. Besides, the teleportation gate to Elenoir only opens once every 7 years for the summit of 3 races. The next time it opens is in 5 years. 5 years. Arthur felt a cold dread seep into him. That's far too long. But we cannot keep a human here that long, King Alduin stated firmly. I will send soldiers with you and see you safely home, though the journey overland will be long and perilous. A difficult journey was better than 5 years. Thank you, Arthur managed. At last I can return. But first I will rest. Have the guards prepared by tomorrow morning, the king instructed. Later that night, solitude brought no peace. I feel worse and worse. A familiar, deep ache throbbed within him, a resonance of the power he struggled to control. What should I do? Sylvia, help me. He slipped outside, onto a balcony overlooking the moonlit gardens. The night breeze is pleasant, it dulls the pain. But the unease remained. I cannot leave this as is. If I don't uncover the cause of the pain. His thoughts drifted to his family. Are Tessia Rayner and Alice safe? No, not Tessia Eralith, his parents. Alice Leywin and Reynolds Leywin. Those two wouldn't disappear so easily. They must have escaped safely. A fierce longing gripped him. I want to see them. When we reunite, will they smile at me again like before? Will they be as gentle? Can that really be so? If someone like me returns, smiling. Art. Tessia's soft voice startled him. She stood a few feet away, looking concerned. The spoiled princess is meddling in everyone's time, she said, trying for lightness, though her eyes held worry. Don't tease me so much, he replied, a faint smile touching his lips. I'm sorry, she said earnestly. I was rude about your parents, too. It wasn't personal. They were just worried about you, Tessia. That's true, but still. She fidgeted. A spoiled princess should spoil herself properly. Don't tease me again, he repeated, the smile growing slightly warmer. Art, she said, her voice softer now. When you meet your parents, you'll probably act the same. She paused. Art, really? Do you think Mom and Dad will be happy to see me again? Even though I got attacked by bandits and caused them trouble, won't they miss me? His own fears echoed in her words. I couldn't protect my family to the end. Does that make me? Art, Tessia said firmly, interrupting his dark thoughts. Of course your parents miss you. That's only natural. She stepped closer, her expression unexpectedly somber. Because you're leaving. I'm feeling so lonely too, Arthur. He looked at her, truly looked at her, seeing the genuine affection and the sadness in her eyes. He felt a pang, a confusing mix of gratitude and something else. He noticed a nearby flower, glowing faintly in the moonlight. This is called a firefly bellflower, right? He asked, diverting. Suddenly, the internal whisper returned, cold and sharp. Kill it. Not Tessia, but the connection, the vulnerability. What was I fighting? What was I looking at? He pushed the thought away, focusing on the flower, on Tessia's presence. I love this flower. Ah. He winced, pressing a hand to his temple as the internal darkness surged. Please, excuse me for fighting the darkness inside me. I was so foolish. I'm sorry. Tessia looked startled, then understanding softened her features. Tessia, what? Yes, I like you too, he found himself saying, the words tumbling out before he could fully process them, driven by the turmoil inside and the warmth beside him. A shadow detached itself from the deeper darkness of the garden. Hello, Elder Virion, grandfather, Arthur said, instantly wary. Tessia gasped. Virion's face was unreadable in the dim light. Then, faster than thought, he moved. Not an attack aimed to kill, but a precise, powerful strike designed to test, to incapacitate. Arthur reacted purely on instinct, dodging, parrying, the air crackling with barely contained mana. What have you done? Tessia cried, horrified. You attempted to kill your own granddaughter. She clearly thought the attack had been meant for her, standing so close. Oh, do you think such a thing can kill someone? Virion retorted dismissively, his eyes fixed on Arthur, who now stood defensively between him and the princess. When I realized I'd been deceived, Virion continued, his voice dangerously smooth, I defended and counterattacked. So you really did fight the slave traders. He lowered his stance slightly. And to verify that, you set up this test? Stop tormenting Art. Tessia pleaded, rushing to Arthur's side again. Art is not the kind of person you dislike. Grandfather. You know that, right? Did you come all this way to bully him? No. Virion tilted his head, a flicker of something akin to fascination in his eyes. I came because I met a fascinating person after such a long time. Interesting. He circled Arthur slowly. Your strong mana, your minimized movements, yet you were even faster. Faster. A predatory gleam entered his eyes. It reminded me of the countless beasts I face in the arena. Those who fight on instinct deliver the final strike unhesitatingly. And yet I did not see it coming. He paused, a faint, calculating smile playing on his lips. Now, let's begin the second round. I have learned all I need. Grandfather, you have to hold back. Tessia insisted. Virion chuckled darkly. If you hold back, I'd be the one bullied. How dare you? Tessia began, but Arthur interrupted. Elder Virion, Arthur said, his voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through him. I am honored by your high opinion of me. Honored? Virion raised an eyebrow. If you truly mean that, then become my disciple. The offer hung in the night air, stunning Arthur into silence. A lowly apprentice. What do you say? Will you accept? Are you serious? Arthur asked, incredulous. I can't believe you said that as a joke. Well, even so, Virion pressed. Arthur hesitated, his mind racing. Training under this powerful ancient elf? The thought was staggering. But I haven't even been able to let my parents know I'm alive yet. Virion's eyes sharpened. In that case, if there's a way to tell them you're alive. His gaze seemed to pierce through Arthur, searching for something specific. Does that mean you truly inherited the beast will? The question landed like a physical blow. Virion stepped closer. Become my disciple, lowly one. His voice was soft, almost hypnotic. Now then, otherwise... The unspoken alternative lingered, heavy with implication.